Okay, we're back for more Ever 17. Last time, we're getting really close to you. Some might even say maybe too close, but I don't know, would I say that? I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Anyway, let's continue. The next morning, after breakfast, we all gathered in the conference room. More accurately, we gathered because Sora had called us together. Tsugumi also made her appearance. What's up, Sora? Oh? Oh, is this the conversation of like, oh, you know, it'll be over in May 5th or something like that? Or was it the 7th? I don't know. Sora paused for a second. Sora looked at all 5 of us in turn. You, Tsugumi, Sarah, Takashi, and me. The conference room was silent. But I could hear the sound of water coming faintly from somewhere. Was it water lapping in the hallways? Moments later, I couldn't hear it anymore. As Sora was waiting for that cue, she slowly opened her mouth. Yeah, it hasn't been good, honestly. Sora extended her hand, and a holographic window appeared in the space in front of us. Felt like I hadn't seen her do that for a while. That's good. I don't know if I need it, but give me 1 second. Forgot to pull up the... Don't play that, please. Okay, we're good. I forgot to pull up the... something I usually have on me. I don't think we need it. Because I think at this point it's just straightforward. But, just in case. I have it. Okay. Yeah.
このままいくと、レミューはやがて平行バランスを崩し、大きく傾くことになるでしょう。フロア区画の連結部への損傷が重なれば、健在な区画にも各種パイプなどを通して水が侵入してくる可能性があります。
We just started. I'm already yawning.
つまり油断のならない状況となっています。以前お伝えしたと思いますが、レミューの完全悪化推定時刻は5月7日午前4時30分前後となっています。
Yeah. The 7th as it was.
推定誤差はプラスマイナス12時間程度です。
Yeah, 12 hours. Yeah, okay.
今のところ大きな変更はかかっていません。
Exactly.
核兵器強度は一部においてすでに限界を超えつつあるのです。崩壊は段階的に少しずつ、しかし確実に起こります。それはもう時間の問題です。
Sora told all of us that with a calm look on her face. We all swallowed and held our breath as we listened. We knew we were reaching our time limit. We had no choice but to accept that reality. There was no avoiding the situation.
現在、発電施設は順調に稼働しています。ですが万が一、発電機が停止してしまった場合は、非常電源、蓄電池を使用します。通常は非常灯の点灯とシステムの保持に使われている程度のものですが、2時間くらいは持つものと思います。
As a matter of fact, way of speaking only raised the tension in our minds. Takashi, Sarah, and Tsugumi, and for you, I couldn't get the image of you burned in my brain the night before, out of my mind. I still felt as if her lips were touching. From the morning, you and I had avoided one another's eyes. I wasn't sure if we'd even exchanged words. You looked straight ahead. I was more conscious of you than of anything else. I didn't know how I should act around her from then on, but I had other things to worry about. I turned back to the situation at hand, listening carefully to Sora's report.
旧来の通信回路については依然不通。脱出方法も見つかっていません。ですが、海外レムシステムは全力を挙げて皆さんの生命維持を最優先事項とし、そのための環境保全に努めます。また、艦外で操作可能なセンサー、ライト、マニピュレーターなどを総動員し、それらを使っての光波、電波、音波による通信の送受信の可能性を改めて検証中です。
Yeah. Sora nodded her head, straightened her back, and surveyed the room. We were all silent. There was a look of determination in her eyes.
言わせてもらいますと、これは意地です。私、茜ヶ崎空の維持できることはわずかですが、皆さんがここにいられる限り、皆さんがここから無事脱出するためのあらゆる手段、方法を私は考え、試したいと思っています。あとしばらくの間、よろしくお付き合いのほどお願いいたします。
Yeah. He concluded with a serious nod. He also nodded in agreement.
助けは必ず来ます。信じて待ちましょう。
Sora's serious expression gave way to a
皆
smile.
さんが無事救出されることをお祈りします。
The gloomy atmosphere that had been hanging over the gathering lightened, and everyone started thinking about how they should spend their time. Sora's smile instilled everyone with courage. I was grateful for that piece of code in Sora's program, the function that allowed her to be calm in times of trouble.
それでは一旦は解散としましょう。何か事実がつかめるまで各自自由に行動してください。ただし何かを発見した場合は即座にレミを通じて私に知らせるということで。ソラ、ちょっといい？あ、はい。小町さん、何でしょうか？
Tsugumi suddenly stood in front of Sora. Her smile seemed just a little
話
forced.
があるの。二人で話したいん
Oh,
だ。
are you all gonna fight again?
二人きりでですか？ええ、お願い。実は脱出についてあなたに一つ提案があるのよ。
I don't feel like this happened here before. I feel like this happened, well, at least with Takashi's two routes. They happened in the rest area, I believe, and we went after them.
本当ですか？何かいい方法が？
Something like that.
そうよ。あなたも知らない。私だけが知っている方法。聞いたところによれば、あなた自立行動のプライオリティを入れ替えてもらったそうね。
Oh, I wonder if that will change this outcome then.
レミにライプリヒに対する守秘義務意識は以前ほど強固なものではない。
Interesting.
はい。それが何か？今のあなたなら私に協力できるかもしれない。
おい、ちょっと待てよ、つぐみ。空も。
あなたは黙ってて。
I do. Huh. The way she said that. Maybe you can work with me now. As in, she remembers that she did this before. Tsumi held up her hand as if silencing Takashi.
私は空と二人だけで話したいの。構わないでしょ？はい、わかりました。では、中央制御室で。そうね。行きましょうか。
Yeah, go ahead. With serious looks on their faces, the two of them headed out of the room.
おい、待てよ、二人とも。勝手なことすんな。そんな大事な話なら、むしろここで。
It's private. Tsumi glared back at Takashi. Her eyes were like
黙っ
ice.
ててって言ったでしょ。
Turned her back on Takashi again, and she and Sora left the conference room. The room suddenly fell silent.
なんだよ。なんだってんだよ。
Those of us left stared at the hologram in the center of the conference room and settled down to plotting a strategy to save ourselves. The four of us, you, Sora, Takashi, and I, gathered around the table. We reviewed the facts as we knew them. There are two ways to get to the surface from Lemieux. Say Galarity? I don't even know. I don't even know what language that is. I don't know if that's right. I probably said that wrong, but hey, whatever. It's fine. There are two ways to get to the surface from Lemieux. One, use the elevator in the central area. Two, climb one of the complex's 12 sets of emergency stairs. The central floor area was completely flooded. Even when we could get to the elevator, we couldn't be certain that it would move. We still don't know the cause of that either. The emergency stairs were also filled with water from the second floor, so they're impassable. There's only one method that could be used to remove the flooding water. That was to use the high-pressure fan to pump the complex full of pressure gases and purge it of seawater. But at that moment, we weren't able to operate the fan from inside Lemieux. Like the elevators, we had no idea why. If we couldn't start it from just the inside, then it could be started from the outside. But all communication channels from the outside to the outside had been cut off. Swinging our way back to freedom was out of the question. The water pressure and other problems made that suicidal. And if we couldn't find a way out on our own, then we have to rely on rescue efforts from outside. But that was something we couldn't depend on. We hadn't been able to communicate with the outside for the 5 days since we'd been trapped, and there were no signs help was coming. So we knew that we had to exclude a miracle rescue from our options. No, from the beginning. We'd reconciled ourselves with the facts of our situation long before. We figured that since there had been no contact or rescue, not even the slightest sign, maybe there was a reason people couldn't get near Lemieux. Or maybe someone had intentionally sealed us in. So we came up with the 3 steps we should focus on. A. Restoring communications with the outside. But that was only relevant if the people on the outside were willing to cooperate. B. Find another way to drain the water from the complex other than a high pressure fan. According to Sora, there was no other way to do that. C. Find an escape route other than the elevator or emergency stairs, like maybe a submarine. Oh, they're a Portuguese YouTuber. Okay, I'm not Portuguese and I don't speak Portuguese, so I don't know them. But alright, cool. That's cool. Maybe a submarine, but according to Sora's information, there are no longer any left at Lemieux. They said that they had all been used during the evacuation on May 1st. Final conclusion. Current prognosis for escape hopeless. But there was one thing. Tsugumi had said that there was an escape method that only she knew about. It did in fact exist, and there's a way that all 6 of us could escape. Then that'd be our only hope. Alright, I'll give you this one more. UMO Brazil. I probably butchered that, but that's supposed to mean I love Brazil. Apparently, I don't know if that's actually what it means. Brazil's great though. Is good. Anyway, let's continue.
結局のところ俺たちには打つ手なしってことか。
つぐみと空の報告を待つしかないね。
Yeah, true. Gotta wait.
にしてもつぐみのやつ遅えな。
うん。いくらなんでも遅すぎるよね。
Yeah, I hope they're not
何か
fighting
あっ
again.
たんでしょうかね。
Maybe we should go check. Oh, thank you. I hope I'm not butchering languages I don't speak. I'd rather not do that. Hey, should I go see how things are going?
そうだな。よろしく頼む。
一人で
Okay.
大丈夫？
Yeah, fine. Well, I'll just go take a peek. With that, I left the conference room. I head down the corridor to the control room. With the situation the way it was, we weren't going to find a solution, no matter how much we worried about it. That was clear. So we'd have to take control of the situation. But how could we do that? We couldn't rely on thinking. We needed to act. The key to the first step down that path was in the hands of Tsugumi and Sora. That was what I believed. I arrived in front of the control room. I pushed the intercom buzzer, but there was no answer. My only choice was to open the door. Oh, hey, it sounds like you're fighting again. Alright. When I did, I heard Tsugumi shouting.
何遍も同じことを言わせないで。
Tsugumi and Sora were in the middle of an argument so intense that it seemed they might start going at it hand to hand. Neither one would budge, they just glared at one another. It looked as though they had been fighting for several minutes. The room was filled with tension. The two glanced at me for only an instant before launching back into their argument.
ですから先ほどから申し上げている通り、そのような場所など存在しないのです。ねえ、ソラ。お願いだから、これ以上私を怒らせないで。
I mean, true. If Tsugumi could fight Sora, she probably would do it at this point.
他の連中は騙せても、私に嘘は通じないの。嘘ではありません。まだ勇気。
It's a bad scene. Something about the whole thing screamed danger. It wouldn't do to let the two of them go at it like that. I retraced my steps, hurrying to the conference room. Everyone, we've got trouble. Without waiting for the door to completely open, I bounded into the room.
早かったな。ってただごとじゃないみたいだな。
Yeah, it's not good.
大変ってどういうこと？
Come on, we gotta go and stop it. I told them that as I struggled to get my breath back.
止める？おい、ちゃんと説明してくれ。
何があったの？
They're fighting! This is the control room. Sora and Tsugumi. I found them fighting. I just couldn't watch, so I...
まずいね。こんな時に。
Yeah, we don't need to be fighting right now.
止めようよ。
ああ、早いとこ行くぞ。
I burst into the room. The room was full of sharp words and barbed looks. The atmosphere was tense. It left a bad taste in my mouth. Nothing had changed at all. Might be safer to say that things had gotten worse.
ドリットストップの下にフロアはありません。降りることはできないんです。嘘。あなたは嘘をついている。
Tsugumi, like, I mean, we've had this twice before, but the thing is, I just don't think Sora knows about it. I don't think she has that information, though, is the thing. I don't know if she's lying, but she doesn't have it. Because at this point, if she had the information, she'd be able to tell us.
私には分かっている。うん。私は知っているの。レミューにはさらに下の階があるって。うん。レミューとは別の施設。それがこの真下にあるの。
If we...
ずっと下の方によ。
Though, if we well, Tsugumi didn't know about this already. If we take Tsugumi in this one as, you know, she remembers things, you know, like she remembered like going down there before, then that's why she knows about it.
そうでしょう。その問いにはこうお答えするしかありません。そんな施設など存在しませんと。そんなはずはないでしょう。じゃああの部屋は何？あのヒンメルは一体何なのよ。
Himmel. I thought I'd heard... No, I had seen it before. Name of a room. Where have I seen it? My memory was vague. I couldn't connect the name with any information in my brain.
いい？あなたは知らないだろうけど、あの扉は今日。
おい、つぐみ。
What was she about to say? The door is what? The Takashi got in the way. Suddenly Takashi got between
つぐ
them.
み。その話、俺にも聞かせてもらおうか。ここまで聞いちまったんだ。もう隠し事も何もないだろう。
She stared intently at Tsugumi. As she turned back to us.
なあ、悪いんだけど、ここは俺に任せてくれないか。
Huh?
何それ？私たちは出て行けってこと？
ああ、大人数であれこれ言い合っても収拾がつかなくなるだけだろ。だからここは俺と空とつぐみに、まあ、しばらく3人だけにしてくれ。
Alright, let's leave this to Takashi.
少年？なんでそんな重要な話し合いで私たちだけがのけ者にならなきゃいけないわけ？
I chose Takashi. You know, normally I would say, yeah, I also do. But the fact that he's interjecting, he interjected in a weird way here, that strikes me as a little suspicious. Just a little. I mean, I understand sending, like, the kid and Sarah away. But you, though, like, you's an adult. Or, I mean, college student. But, alright, whatever. And Takashi has trust in us. Takashi has his own take on things. And I think we should go with what he thinks.
サンキュー少年。すまんな。
しょうがないな。じゃあ倉成、あんたに任せるからね。
ああ、わかった。
With the three of them in the control room. After that, we decided to take some action of our own. This made time until the Muse implosion was steadily approaching. We decided to run a visual check of the complex to see how everything was. Of course, the myth had already checked everything, so it was a meaningless action. But we felt that we had to do something. Check the corridor near the Cosmic Whale Room. Rather, near what remained of it. The Cosmic Whale Room was already filled with water. I wonder what that girl I had seen down there was. Where'd she gone? Who was the girl singing that lonely children's song? Was she a ghost, or something else? Just as I was thinking that. Then I was hit with a bout of dizziness. My vision contorted, and I couldn't stand. I leaned against the wall and slowly crouched on the floor. I was unable to focus my mind. I felt cold. My joints were throbbing. Oh, ow! My stomach felt like it was contracting in on itself. I couldn't stand it and sprinted into the bathroom. I threw up everything in my stomach. It was a stew of half-digested chunks of tuna sandwich. I looked at it indifferently and put my hand on my forehead. I wasn't feverish, but I felt terrible. I took the elevator up to the second floor. I headed towards the infirmary, intending to get some medicine. Along the way, I saw Takashi. He was leaning against the wall, muttering. He's probably just talking to himself, but I heard what he was saying.
たく、何にも起きねえじゃねえか。手任せ言いやがって、あの女。もう時間がねえってのによ。
Lying? Woman? He seemed to be in a bad mood. Hey there, Takashi.
あ？おう、少年か。なんじゃい。
How was the talk with Tsugumi and Sora?
ああ、あれな。ダメダメ。全然話になんね
Huh? What do you
え。
mean?
つぐみの勘違いだったんだよ。単なるあいつの思い込みだったんだ。
So, the escape
あ
route...
あもちろん白紙に戻ったってわけだ。
Just right, though. Oh, I see. I held out hope that you could pull us through. It was bitter disappointment.
おっとそうだ。こうしてらんねえよ。
Huh?
俺もう行くわ。今忙しいんだよ。じゃあな。
Alright, see ya. Feeling stiff, Takashi headed off. I was left alone. Sora and Sora were in the infirmary. Seems the two of them were having a complicated discussion.
じゃあここのネットワークを通じてライプリヒ本社のデータベースにも侵入できるんだね。ええ、理論上は可能です。しかし本社のデータベースはこことは比較にならないぐらいプロテクトは強固です。並大抵のことでは侵入どころか逆ハックされてしまうことでしょう。それに現在外部との通信は普通状態ですし。でもケーブルが断線してるわけじゃないんだよね。はい。だったら受信はできなくても送信はできてるかもしれないわけだ。その可能性はあります。そっか。だとしたらってあれ少年いつの間に入ってきたの？
I've been here for a bit.
そうなの。全然気づかなかった。どうかなさったのですか？あまり顔色が優れないようですが。
Yeah, I'm not well. Yeah, that escape route that Tsugumi was talking about. So, she turned out to be wrong?
はい、どうやらそのようです。
I see.
そんなに落ち込まないでください。まだ望みを捨ててはいけません。朝に申し上げたように、私もレミも最後まで全力で皆さんのために尽くしますから。
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
ところで少年は何の用でここに？
Oh yeah, I came to get some medicine or some vitamin supplements.
あれ？少年も具合悪いとか？
Huh? You too,
皆さ
Sarah.
ん、かなりお疲れのようですね。無理もないことですけど。
I wonder if these are onset of symptoms.
ナッキ先輩もさっき来たんだよ。やっぱストレスかな？それとも睡眠不足？食事は竜田サンドだけだし。ああ、やだやだ。どれも肌の大敵ね。
As she complained, Zara took a jar filled with tablets from the medicine shelf.
はい、どうぞ。
I guess you took the same ones. I gulped down the tablets that Sarah gave me. Where did you
更
go?
衣室。
Huh? Why? She's going to change?
よくわかんないけどね。
At that point, Tsugumi came into the room. Both Sarah and Sora's expressions tensed. You too, Tsugumi?
Huh?
It's weird, but everyone seems to be feeling ill today. I thought you might be feeling bad too.
私は違うわ。私はただ様子を見に来ただけ。
Hmm?
妙といえば、彼頭おかしくなったんじゃないの？
That guy?
もしかしてたけしのこと？
Tsugumi nodded.
かなり挙動不審だったわよ。目を血走らせながら避難用通路に入っていったけど、なんだか鼻息も荒かったわね。
Well, that's not a good sign. Huh? He seemed in a bad mood, but was he that out of
元
it?
からそうだったけど、頭をやられちゃったのかもね。ん？鼻息が荒い？まさかとは思うけど。倉成さんでしたら、ちょっと待ってくださいね。今ちょうど更衣室の上の通路に。ねえ、ちょっと様子見に行った方がよくない？
Huh. I think you're right. Sarah and I hurried out of the room.
あ、皆さん、更衣室の中には。
This doesn't sound good. I'm just gonna say it doesn't sound good. Two of us sprinted to the changing room. We arrived in front of it. There, we heard you give an ear-splitting scream. didn't believe it. It couldn't be. Damn that Takashi! The door is shut. We thought it might be locked from the inside. I knew it wouldn't work, but I was going to try to kick open the door. But Sarah stopped me. Sarah went to work on the keypad next to the door. Seeing that she had a code for emergencies like that, the door opened up. I immediately burst into the room. Hey, Takashi. Huh? He was alone in the room. She'd already finished changing. What? The magazine he would throw at me hit me full on in the face. Felt a piercing pain in my nose.
先輩無事ですか？何のこと？だってたけしが蔵なりがどうしたって？
Takeshi wasn't anywhere in the room. Couldn't mention it. There were no emergency exits in the room at all. There's no way for him to enter in from the emergency corridor. But what about that scream just a minute ago? What was that? I rubbed my nose as I said that. He took the collar of her jacket and showed it to us. There did seem a little black stain. He screamed because of that? Don't just freak out like that. And if you're done changing, why do you throw it at me? Well, you screamed! Like, anybody would burst into the room if you hear a loud scream like that. Look at the magazine you would throw at me. On the cover of the magazine was a glossy picture of a screw and a screwdriver. This copy of Monthly Toolbox magazine. What is something like this doing in the girls' changing room? Something red jumped on the floor. I had a nosebleed. It's because you threw this magazine at me. Plugging my nose with tissues handed to me by Sarah as I fumbled for an explanation. You know, tools. You know, some people really like tools. That's not it. With that, Sarah left the room. What? Are you leaving? Things. I thought I took a gleam of determination in Sarah's eyes. Sarah waved to me as she left. But a new instant later, she poked her face back in the room. Some people just really want to use screwdrivers on screws. You know, normal things. Yeah, exactly. They just really enjoy it. They have a lot of fun. Huh? What's up? That time she didn't come back. You and I sat on the bench in the changing room, facing in opposite directions. Finally, the two of us were alone. A situation I had been trying to avoid. I fidgeted as I thought of the touch of her lips the day before. I wondered why we had stayed there. It was because you didn't try to go anywhere. With what Sarah had said, I couldn't just say, see you, and leave. If I did that, she'd be able to tell that I was still hung up on the day before. I tried not to think about it. But the more I tried not to think about it, the more I did. Part of me that knew that while all of that I pretended was unaware... what? Hold on. The part of me that knew all of that pretended I was unaware of it while acting like I was That... All that sentence just is full of words. But that just led me to actually being aware of it. So I tried to pretend not to think about it as I was pretending to think about it. Huh? Then I realized that it was all meaningless. The more I thought about it, the more confused I got. Yeah, I can hardly fucking say it. Sat down next to you and stared at the ceiling. Are you all gonna say something, or are we just hanging out? Oh, that's right. The silence is bad. I better break it somehow. Thought I would try to say something and calm myself down. Those clothes really suit you.
Huh?
No, I mean, why did you change? Fortunately, my mind was still in a state of confusion and wouldn't follow orders.
そうね。いわゆる一つの決意表明かな。
Huh?
着替えた理由聞いたのは君でしょ。ベ
Yeah.
ニューのユニフォームを脱ぎ捨てて私の日常に即した服を身につける。
Yeah. You want to escape as you, not as you, the Lemieux employee.
ベミューでの私さよならって意味と日常の私こんにちは。私は何が何でもここを脱出して普段の生活に戻るの。そういう決意表明。
That's why. Alright, you got nothing else to say? That right, I feared the conversation was sure to fizzle out. I need something to talk about. Let me just double check. I don't think this... Okay. Let's talk about the third eye again. Oh, that reminds me. I wanted to ask you about the third eye.
第三視点
Yeah.
最後に第三の目それは
It just comes back to that, huh? Suddenly I remembered and vividly relived the feeling of our lips touching the night before. I sorely regretting I brought up that topic.
そういえばさ
Yeah?
第三視点って概念の本当の意味教えてなかったよね。
No. You always say I'll tell you next time.
そうだったね。よし、いい機会だからお姉さんが手取り足取り教えてあげよ
Really? Well, you can skip the boring stuff. You stood up and turned to face
う。
me.
では、ナッキュ先生の第三視点講座を始めるとします。
I clapped for her half-heartedly.
当たり前の話だけど、人間は2つの視点を持ってるよね。1つは右目、もう1つは左目。
You winked with one eye and then the
こ
other.
の2つの視点によって人間は立体を認識することができるの。もしも仮に片方の視力を失ってしまったとしたら不可能とまでは言い切れないけど立体を認識することは極めて困難になる。ちょっと片目をつぶってみて。
I closed my right eye as she said.
そうして見える世界は基本的には平面としての情報だけによって構成されてるでしょ。もちろん焦点、ピントを合わせたり眼球を動かしたりすることによって物体の立体感を把握することができないわけじゃないけど、でも両目を使ってる時に比べれば立体としての認識度っていうのかな、そういうのは著しく低下してるはず。
Yep.
言ってることわかる？じゃあ余分なことは抜きにして言うけど、つまりこういうこと。人間が片方の目だけから入手できる情報は平面、二次元としての情報だけなのである。要するに写真と同じなのよ。 一枚の風景写真を見たとき、手前に林があって奥に湖があって、そのまたずっと向こうに山脈があってというような遠近感を確かに知覚することはできる。でもその写真はあくまでも二次元じゃない？平面上に現像しただけだよね。というわけで写真というのは3次元の映像を二次元的に再現したものだってことが分かってもらえたと思うんだけど、まだ分からない？
I don't get it, and my left eye is
しょう
tired.
がないな。じゃあ今度は左目を閉じて。こら、両目つぶってどうすんのよ。
Nothing. Now the eyelid of my left eye shut with my left hand as I open my right eye.
そうそう。そしたらちょっと軽く実験でもしてみようか。
Experiment. Nodding, you took a marker out of her pocket. Took the cap off and handed the marker to me. So, what do I
私
do?
が持ってるこのキャップにサインペンをはめてみて。
You turned the cap sideways and held it in front of me. So, you want me to put the tip of this in... fuck you! You're gonna make me... Are you kidding me? Get the hell out of here. You wanna fucking say it that way? So you want me to put the tip of this into that hole of yours?
早く入れて。
You want me to... Oh, okay. You want me to put it in? I took the shiny black pen, lifted it towards the little cap that you held, and trying to put it in. Huh? That's weird. I can't find the hole. Fuck! Ah! Who the fuck would... Ah! Exactly, fucking... Alright, wow, fuck... Whatever. The marker wouldn't go in the cap. It wouldn't work. I tried again and again, but it wouldn't go where you wanted it to go. It should be easier than this.
もうだらしないな。
Is this just a metaphor at this point? Well, what do you expect me to do? Fuck! You've put a fucking a cap on a pen before? Get the hell out of here! It's a pen! That wouldn't hurt! Sorry.
どこに刺してんのよ。そこじゃないでしょ。
Yeah, that's a finger!
もうちょっと手前。
That's bad too. What the fuck?
違う違う。もっと奥。そう、そこそこ。そこに入れて。
Yes. It is. It is definitely 100%. Yes. Tell Lucajin, yes. Yes, it is. Yeah, you got it. Good job. You can put the pen in the cap. There you go.
すごいすごい。こんなの初めて。
What the fuck?
で、あるからして。
Oh, back to serious time. We had the hee hee, the haha. We had that, and now it's back to, you know.
一つの視点だけでは立体を認識することがいかに難しいことなのか。
Back to the science you talk. We had that second of fucking nonsense. そう。
まとめるとこういうこと。一つの視点から得られる情報は平面二次元的な情報だけ。立体三次元的な情報を獲得するためにはその視点が最低でも2つ以上は必要なの。
That's a good question, Margie, actually. What was it written like that in the... Yeah, actually, yes. Yes, I think it was. I think it was written like that in the Japanese script, because they're, you know, they're cheeky and coy with these things. Well, cheeky and coy. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's right. I mean, the translators could have been having fun with that as well. But, like... I don't know, maybe both. A little both, maybe. Like, you the thing about this is, like, there was like, at least, I don't know about Tsugumi's necessarily, but there was implied happenings with Takashi and Tsugumi in the gondola ride that Sora got super fucking pissed at and was trying to kill Takashi over. Like, there was implied things there. Like, okay, I get what you're going at. I get what you're laying down here, but like that nonsense is like, okay, like, you have to do this. You have to do this right now in the language you're saying it. Like, okay, I love it, but it's silly, very silly. Anyway.
つまり右目と左目この2つの視点を使わない限り私たちは瞬間的に3次元を認識することはできないのよ。まだわからないかな。
I see what you're saying, but what does this have to do with the third eye?
どんな関係も何もないってもうほとんど説明し尽くしちゃってるんだから。だったら逆にこっちから質問するけど一つの視点から得られる情報は
You said two-dimensional information, right?
次に二つの視点から得られる情報は
I think you said three-dimensional
で
information.
は三つの視点から得られる情報は
Four-dimensional information, maybe? Huh? The fourth dimension. You nodded slowly, listening to me. So the fourth dimension was... Wait, what was it a mention anyway? You took a notebook out of her locker and started illustrating your points with the diagrams using the familiar pen. Zero-dimensional. A world made of points. With zero dimensions, there's no mass, no area. It's depicted using coordinates. Or we might call it nothingness, or even zero. One-dimensional is an extension of the point, is a straight line. In other words, a cross-section of a straight line is a point. This is depicted by one concept, length. Two-dimensional is an extension of the straight line. It is a flat world. In other words, a cross-section of a plane, or a flat world is a straight line. This is depicted using two concepts, length and width. Three-dimensional. This is an extension of the flat world. It is a three-dimensional world. In other words, the cross-section of a solid plane is the solid world is a plane, or flat surface. This is depicted using three concepts, length, width, and height. This isn't the most precise way of putting it, but you can think of three dimensions as an area in space composed of length, width, and height. By depicting length, width, and height on the x, y, and z axis, one axis adds a vertical element to the other two. And fourth dimension adds a t-axis, or time, to these three, and because four dimensions is no longer just space, it is called space-time. One of the x, y, z, and t axes adds a vertical element crossing perpendicularly to the other three. Four-dimensional is an extension of three dimensions, a world of space and time. In other words, a cross-section of space-time is three-dimensional. Four dimensions are depicted using four concepts, length, width, height, and time. So basically, if you were to game the third eye, then you have enough information to experience four dimensions.
空間プラス時間私たちが2つの眼球を使って目の前の広がった空間の映像を一瞬にして理解できるように
So with three perspectives, we can also be aware of the cross-cutting element of time.
そういうことである
You put the cap on the pen. I feel like I kinda understand.
何が
My premonitions. I didn't travel through time.
第三視点を獲得したとはだから未来のことがわかるんと なんてバカバカしいこと言い出さないよね。
You don't think so?
ダメ。だって全然説得力ないもん。どうして少年はいきなり第三視点を開眼することになったの？
Why do you lose your memory? We don't know either of these
その理
questions.
由は？方法は？
I'll bet if I get my memory back, then I'll...
またすぐそうやって記憶喪失のせいにするっていうかさ、そもそもその記憶喪失の原因を探ってるんじゃなかったの？記憶喪失と第三視点とにどんな関係があるわけ？それから少年が見たって言ってたあの幻の女の子のことは？まったくもう、短絡的っていうか浅はかっていうか幼稚っていうか。
But your mom believed in it, right?
その話はやめて。もう過去のことは考えたくないの。昨日そう言ったじゃない。
But do you like things the way they are? You don't care if you never find out who your mom and dad were for the rest of your life.
やめて。
You'd cover both of her years in denial. I want to know about my past. I still hope to find it out. I don't have my memory nor any clue to go by, so... You have your memory, right? So that means that you have something that I don't have. You have a clue. And more than that, you're able to get information from the myth. So, how come you still don't want to think about it? I thought you came to Lemieux because you wanted to find out the truth. Why'd you change your mind? Did something make you change? Why are you denying your past? Isn't that the same as denying yourself? With your own two eyes. Why don't you try to face the truth directly? You... I grabbed Yu's arms and pulled them away from her ears. Answer me, why? Why do you want to give up when you're almost there? Why throw away everything that you've worked so hard for? I shouted at her. I couldn't believe what she was doing. It was something that she would be hard-pressed to find in her wildest dreams. And just as she was about to attain it, she had suddenly changed her mind. I was nowhere near reaching my dream, but you was almost within her reach. So I felt terribly, terribly disappointed. I don't get it. What you've longed to know was right in front of you, and I was so jealous and happy for you. Why?
怖くなったの。
Huh?
真実を知るのが怖くなったのよ。考えてみてよ。今まで正しいと信じてたものが全部嘘だって分かったのよ。全部作り物だったのよ。ねえ、こんなことってある？それって普通のことなの？私には信じられない。もう何もかもが信じられない。知らなかったの。真実がこんなにも苦しいものだったなんて。
You put her hand on her chest.
痛いの。心が痛いの。真実に近づくたび心がズタズタに傷ついていくの。私にはもう耐えられないんだよ。知りたくない。本当のことなんて聞きたくない。
The sun sounded shaking me to just look up. Well, we don't have time to worry about this now. Next instance, warning alarm started shrieking. All around me, the squeal of straining metal echoed from the structure. The shaking continued on and off. What? No. No. Could implosion already have started? It was 5:45 p.m. The estimated time of implosion was 4:30 a.m. on May 7th. But given the 12-hour margin of error, I thought it could well be the implosion. I burst out of the room. The corridor was flooded and the water level was rising. I was stunned by how high the water already was. And in a while, the alarm ceased. It looked like the flooding had been stopped just in time. Looks like it's under control. I wonder if everybody's alright.
そうね。確認しましょう。空！空！聞こえる？
There's no response. It's no good. I bet the sensors are out of whack.
ひとまず空のとこに行きましょう。多分制御室にいると思うから。
Yeah. Put our argument aside for the moment and concentrated on handling the situation at hand. You and I headed down to the 3rd floor.
とにかく脱出する方法を早く探さないと。
You sprinted down the stairs. Even though we were in the middle of a crisis, I couldn't get my mind off of what we were talking about. Mystery surrounding you's parents, and my inexplicable premonitions. I had a feeling that the two things were somehow connected to the third eye. Why? Why can't I shake this feeling? We reached the 3rd floor. Hey, you.
何？どうしたの？
I was just thinking. Saying that the thing about your parents and the stuff that's been happening to me might have something in common. I get the feeling that the third eye ties them together somehow.
ねえ、何言ってるの？この状況わかってる？
Yeah, we don't really have time for this kid.
今は生きるか死ぬかの瀬戸際なのよ。そんなことどうでもいいじゃない。
It is. But you said your mom said the third eye.
お母さんなんて言わないで。あの人は私のお母さんなんかじゃ。
She stopped mid-sentence. Suddenly she lifted her head and started running. I hurriedly went after her. Sora wasn't inside. I looked at the life reading numbers. Not being human, Sora wouldn't register on the bioscan, so the number 5 matched with the number of us that we knew to be stuck in the Mew. In other words, everyone was alive. We sat in the chair and typed on the keyboard, calling up the login page for the database. Incidentally, Sora had removed the login restriction that kept us from accessing it before.
わかった。わかったのよ。
What?
認証をクリアする方法。
So you figured out the password mystery. You shook her
そう
head.
じゃなかったの。
What
海
then?
月の虚空に涼しホトトギス。
Hello, Raynex. I can't really explain any of this to you if you're just hopping in now. But we're playing over 17. We're pretty far in. Things are kind of bad right now.
パスワードはこれで合ってるはず。
Oh, and hello as well. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Dagaru is that last name? If that's wrong, I don't know. I'm sorry. But hello. I can't explain this to you either. We're far in a visual novel, ever 17. Things are bad, passwords, something like that. So if you couldn't get in with that before, right? You put the password. Access denied. Invalid name or password. See?
違うの、違うのよ。間違ってたのはパスワードじゃなかったんだよ。彼女の名前。
You move the cursor to the name column. Read Tanaka Yuki.
あの人は私の本当のお母さんじゃなかった。つまり、田中幸恵なんかじゃなかったの。その名前には登録されてなかったのよ。だから、だからあの人の本当の名前さえわかれば。
Her name. Name. You never saw a driver's license or any document with your mom's name on it.
ないんだよ、一度も。
I
生
see.
まれてこの方、あの人がお母さんの名前を語ってるなんて想像すらしなかったんだもん。あの人はお母さんなんだって、田中幸恵なんだって本人もそう言ってたんだし、普通我が子に名前を偽ってるなんてそんなこと考えもしないよ。
That's true.
ダメ。 見当もつかない。
You put her arms around her head and bowed
可
down.
能性のある名前のパターンなんてあまりに膨大すぎる。
But you could narrow it down to a certain degree, right? And if she were using a fake name, I'll bet it has something in common with the real one. Like the initials are the same or
そ
something.
の可能性は低いと思う。だってあの人はあくまで私のお母さん田中幸恵を語ってたわけであって、架空の女性 A をでっち上げてたわけじゃないの。だとしたなら、2人の名前には何の共通性もないって考えるべきだよ。そもそも赤の他人だとしたら名字だって田中である必要すらないんだから。
Yeah, I guess you're right.
それにね、たとえ最初の一文字が同じ「ゆ」だと仮定しても、ゆい、ゆう、ゆうか、ゆうき、ゆうこ、ゆうな、ゆうの、ゆうま、ゆうみ、ゆうり、ゆえ、ゆか、ゆかり、ゆき、ゆきこ、ゆきな、ゆきの。
Yep, those are a lot of you names.
ゆきみ、ゆさこ、ゆたか、ゆず。
There's more.
ゆま、ゆみ、ゆみか、ゆみこ、ゆみな、ゆめこ、ゆめみ、ゆゆ、ゆり、ゆりや、ゆりか、ゆりこ。とまあ、適当にあげただけでもこれだけあるのよ。可能性は低いけど、私みたいに風変わりな名前だってあるわけだし。
A bizarre name. That reminds me, you still haven't told me your full name. I remember you saying it was really
うん、
long.
そう。果てしなく長い名前。だから、よく間違えられたりするんだよ。
No kidding?
知りたい？
Your full name.
そう。
Of course I do.
本当は恥ずかしいから、あまり人には教えたくないんだけど、でも、少年だったらいいかな。お願いだから、絶対に笑わないでよ。
You know, I get like weren't you just saying like we don't have time for this? And now but we're doing it now. We're not, oh, Sora's not here. Let's go look somewhere else. And like, no, the password. Remember the password? It's not that it's whatever, it's fine. Probably. Sure.
それでは教えて信じよう。私の本名は、
Uh-huh.
田中優美生秋かな。
Huh?
優しく美しく清らかな秋香る菜の花。
Tanaka Yubiseyaki kana.
どうしたの？あ、わかった。あまりにも変な名前だから呆れてるんでしょ。
No, it's not exactly that. It's the Aki. Aki? Yubisei Aki kana. Is that really it? That's a good question, Maji. I don't know. I feel like it might be, but
むっかー、信じてないんだな。本当だぞ。間違いなく本名なんだぞ。
actually, now that the kid's pointing it out, I think it is different. That's not what I meant.
いいからちょっと来なさい。
You took my hand and led me out of the control room. I think it is different. It might have been. I think the kid picked up on it that it was different. Interesting. Well, no time for that now. Back to the ruins. We headed into the Lemurian ruins. Listen, I don't think now is the time for this.
いくら気に入らない名前だったとしても、これは私の名前なんだから。お母さんがつけてくれた名前なんだから、信じてもらわなきゃ困るの。
You stood in front of a door at the edge of the room.
ここはオペレーター用の操作ルームなの。このアトラクションの照明の調整とか、空調の管理とか、内部の監視カメラのモニターとか、そういうのを行うための部屋なんだけど、間違ってお客さんが入らないように、このドアはあらかじめ登録されたスタッフにしか開けられないようになってるの。ドアを開けるときには指紋と声紋のチェックにパスしなくてはならない。
So
私
what?
もスタッフの一人だったわけだから、もちろんここに登録されてる。つまり私の正しい名前を言わなければドアは開かない。
Oh,
さっ
okay.
き教えた名前が嘘ならドアは開かない。お分かり？
Yeah, I got it.
百聞は一見にしかずってことで試してみましょうか。
Do it and have it not work.
いい？よく見ててよ。
You put her hand on the panel next to the door. Then held a lamp that was
田
shining
中
red.
優美生空きかな。
Responding to her voice, the lamp turned green, and then the door opened.
ね、これで信じてくれた？
Yeah. With that, I thought I had to believe her. We returned back to the control room. The whole time, Yu's name kept churning through my mind. Yubisei Akikana. Akikana. Aki. Truth was a lie. The lie was true. My mind was confused with what it might be true and what was false. But I thought if a name had autumn or Aki in it, it might as well be one with spring or Haru in it. Oh, it was! Gradually I became convinced that it could be right. When we got back to the control room, we decided to review skateboard routes. At that point, we really didn't expect to find anything new. Interesting. That's such a small change. That's bizarre. What? What does the shout mean?
まさかこれ外部からの通信よ。
What? Suddenly the monitor displayed an image. It was a shaky video mixed with static. When the screen finally settled down, it showed the face of a girl that I didn't recognize.
お母さん。
Oh. Was she Yu's mother?
違うんでしょ。あなたは私の本当のお母さんじゃないんでしょ。ええ、そう。私はあなたの母親じゃない。ひどいよ。どうして今まで黙ってたの？今はまだそれは言えないの。
What do you mean yet?
どうしてよ。今まで散々騙してきたくせにこの子に及んでまだ隠し続けるつもり？騙してきたんじゃないのよ。確かに私はあなたの母親とは言えないかもしれない。でもそれでもあなたはユウは私の本当の子供なのよ。私がお腹を痛めて産んだ実の子供なの。適当なこと言わないでよ。ごめんなさいユウ。あとはここに上がってきてから教えるわ。ここってどこにいるの？インゼルヌル、浮島の上にいます。え、なんなの？どういうことなの？あなたは一体。
The one vanished from the screen. Then a man appeared.
これから浮島上にある高圧力送風機を稼働させ、ハウプトプラッツの非常階段と それに接続された緊急避難用通路の海水を除去する。予想排水完了時刻は21時30分。今から3時間後だ。その後、水のなくなった通路を通り、非常階段を登って浮島へと達してもらいたい。それまでは各自その場で待機だ。
あなた誰なの？
全ては君たちが浮島に上がってきてから教えるつもりだ。こうしてディスプレイに向かい合って話すような内容じゃないからね。だけどユウ、君に一つだけ分かってもらいたいことがあるんだ。お母さんは誰よりも君のことを愛してるよ。どうかこのことだけは忘れないでほしい。
Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Eventually, the others struggled into the control room. Takashi, Sora, Tsugumi, and Sora. I told them about the message we had just had. The others couldn't hide their surprise. It was sudden, unexpected good news. Some of them even thought it might be a trap. Of course, that was what I thought at first, too. My skeptical mind wanted to ask, why now? Felt like a trick might be still being played on us, but we had no other choice but to go along with it. There were only a few hours left until Lemieux imploded. There were no other options left for us. We moved to the conference room and waited for the time that water would be cleared. 6 of us hardly said anything. Everyone just stared off into space, waiting impatiently for time to pass. You slumped in zoomed back in a chair and stared blankly at the ceiling. It looked like a puppet with its strings cut. The room was tense with anticipation. I couldn't handle it and decided to... let's talk to you. Hey, you. Hey, you.
何？呼んだ？
Yeah.
さ、悪いんだけど、今何か話せるような気分じゃないの。ごめん。ちょっと一人で考えたいことがあるから。
I understand. I'm sorry to bug you. I figure that it must have been a real shock for her to find out that the lady who had been pretending to be your mom looked like all of our guesses had been right on target. Finally, the appointed time arrived. We climbed to the second floor and stood at the emergency corridor. Then we began walking to the central core. Finally, we reached a dead end. The airtight door was shut because the area from there onward was filled with seawater. The door swung open. The water was gone. Continued heading towards the center through the dry corridor. Sora, Takashi, and Tsugumi walked ahead. You, Sora, and I walked a few dozen meters behind them. Soon Takashi had already reached the emergency stairs. Sora, Takashi, and Tsugumi disappeared up the stairs. But immediately after that... Oh no.
いけません。浸水が始まりました。第三区画、避難通路の隔壁が圧壊。前方51メートル先より水が押し寄せてきます。
Sound of rushing water could be heard in the distance. Well, I hope they made it in time, because we didn't. The door leading to the emergency stairs was swallowed by water. What are you doing? Run, now! Now, hang on. I grabbed his hand and doubled back. We fled to the security office. You, Sora, and I were there. It looked like the flooding had subsided. According to Sora, there were only a few dry areas left in the complex. Messages came from the outside. Yeah, I think so.
浸水だけは全くの誤算だった。だが、各駅の強度を見誤ったとも思えない。原因が 全くわからない。
What do you want us to do
ひとま
now?
ずそこに待機していてくれ。すぐに対策を講じる。
Can't use the high pressure gas fan to get rid of the water again.
これだ。なんだ。動かない。これも原因不明だ。
What? I'm having trouble hearing you. So they had broken up part of the message, and I hadn't caught it. Like another crisis had struck. The speaker on their side, we heard a lot of muffled noise and a rush of air.
これは本当なのか。もしかしたらビッグビンケル。ビッグビンケルが現のか。
And then communications were cut off. I'm sorry? What? Blickwinkle? I don't know what that means. Sora? The solemn look, Sora shook her head. Damn it, we were almost there. Hello, Percival. Some people coming in. I can't explain any of this to you. Okay, we're far in, Ever 17, couple routes at this point. We were stuck, or we are stuck. We got stuck in underground theme park, underground water theme park, whatever. Underwater theme park, that's the word. And we almost escaped just now, but the water broke in, and now three of our friends got away, but we didn't get away, so that's bad. I don't know what else to tell you. Thanks for stopping by, though. Why this? Why did this happen to us? I punched the console. I don't get any of this. What is that? Blickwinkle? Hey, Sora, what does this mean? Sora shook her head again. I sighed and sat down in a chair. I sat slumped in the chair next to me. You sat slumped in the chair next to me. There you go. I looked at the monitor. Displayed the life readings for the complex. Life readings 3. Huh? 3? I wondered why. Only you, Sora, and I were left in the Mew. And Sora, the bioscan shouldn't pick her up. What is this? Is this broken? What does this mean, Sora?
わかりません。ただ、何かが起きていることだけは確かなようです。私にも知らされていない何かが。
I stood up from the chair. Just then, my elbow bumped an empty can on the table. The can fell to the floor and rolled to the wall. Is the floor... The floor is tilting. Hey, Sora, can you display the map of the Mew? Something that has a cross-sectional display of the structure.
はい、わかりました。
If the Mew appeared on the monitor. It's like I thought. The Mew is slanting. But the tilt of the complex didn't really mean anything. Thankfully, it didn't look like it was affecting our chances of survival. Hey, you, what do you think we should do now? He was completely dazed. It didn't look like my voice was reaching her brain. I think that the light of the world had been extinguished from her eyes. Daybreak. The date had changed to Sunday, May 17th. Or, May 7th. Not 17th. I mean, you expect it from 17th, but... At that time, we hadn't slept at all. I was starting to feel bad again. I felt like a headache, dizziness, nausea, and chills were seeping out from and deep in the core of my body. I suffered from a wave of dull pain and extreme fatigue. I was only half conscious. Exhaustion. I had reached my limit. I tried to keep my energy from being sapped away. Surrounded by darkness and endless fear, we had fought our way so far. And there's no sign of things that were no sign that things were going to get better. Communications lines with the outside world were still down, and we had to find a clue leading to possible escape. You remained distant and spacey. Optimistic leader that helped us through the days of distress was nowhere to be seen. Someone had to save her. But who? Of course, it was up to me. At that point, I was the only person who could help her. Besides...
約束
Yeah, I promise. Memory of that pledge remains stuck in my mind. Sora?
はい何でしょう
I'm sorry to ask, but could you leave me alone with you for a second?
はいわかりました
When we're done, I'll call you. I'm really sorry.
お気になさらずとも良いのです
Thanks. Sora vanished. Ajay's server completely disappeared. Sora had no dimensional limits, had removed herself from our field division. Then, before continuing, I went to set the coffee machine to make fresh coffee. You're drinking coffee, right? Ignoring her lack of response, I set it to prepare 2 cups, and sat down beside her. About your mother, I mean, I don't know what to say, but don't you think it's important to talk things over with her? There may have been some reason why she did what she did. Look, she did say she'd explain everything once you're back on the floating island. So,
分かったようなこと言わないでよもうあの人と話すようなことなんて何一つないのどうでもいいのもう何もかもどうでもよくなっちゃった
look, we've still gotta find a way to escape this place.
な
Somehow.
ぜ
They made you a
どう
promise.
やって何か脱出する方法があるの
Well, that's what I want to figure out. Listen, we've to survive. Over these last 7 days, I've learned so much from you. In so many ways I can't even begin to count. But out of everything I've learned from you, the most important thing is how to live. You have to live life to the fullest. That's what you've taught me. So I want to put that lesson into practice. I want to live to the fullest to the end. It was a heartfelt plea.
少年
Yeah?
生きることってなんだろうね
Well, living means to learn and to know, I think. A child is born innocent, gains knowledge through the years, only forget it all when it is old, and dies. The past 7 days, my life has been filled with things that I learned. From amnesia and emptiness, my life began. But looking back over the previous 7 days, there was one more thing. I also think that to live means to lose something. They said nothing ventured, nothing gained. But to gain something, you had to lose something. Like me losing the past by losing my memory. Even though I had lost much, I had also
知
gained.
ること失っていくことねえそれってつまり傷ついていくってこと
Maybe. I don't know.
そう生きることが傷つくことだというのならもう十分もう十分すぎるほど傷ついたよ十分生きたんだよだから
Wait a second. You're trying to say you're not saying you want to die. You can't be serious. What the hell's that all about? I can't believe you're saying that. It's not like you at all. What happened to the you a little while ago? You was so ready to get out of here. What happened to that you? Come on, what gives? What came over you all of a sudden? Why do you think you were born anyway?
やめて 要ならもうやめて。
No, it's you who's talking stupid. All this selfish crap as if your life belongs only to you.
そんなこと考えてない。考えてないけど。でも私は、私を産んでくれたお母さんはもういないんだよ。
The other lady said she was your real mother.
そんなの嘘に決まってる。
And you know,
それは今までもずっと騙されてきたから。
don't you think it's a little pointless right now? I mean, you do understand, don't you? Until you hear a side of the story, you can't go jumping to conclusions. I think you should live the best life you can for all the people around you who care about you. For your mother, and for Sarah and Takashi as well. And for me.
少年のため。
I said it before, but there's so much that I've learned from you. So very grateful to you. Really. You're a friend, a guardian, a teacher, and walked back to the coffee machine and poured 2 cups of coffee. You said earlier that you've already lived enough, right? But I don't think it's enough. Because I think there's still stuff that you need to
お
learn.
母さんのこと。
That's one thing, yes. By the way, how much sugar do you take?
私は
Not listening, I added 2 spoonfuls. Just thinking, don't you think sugar and coffee reminds you of something? You know, something that life depends on.
あ
Do you have any
わ
idea?
からないよ。
That's the second thing you don't know about. Makes you want to know, doesn't it?
少し悔しいかも。
Well, if we get out of here alive, I'll tell you what it is. I added milk and sugar and then carried the 2 cups over. There you go.
ありがとう。
He took the cup and silently sipped from it. How's it taste? My feelings... finally getting across to her.
とっても甘いね。
She had a clear, gentle smile, like the sun shining just after a rain. Got Sora back into the room. All survivors remaining inside the park were present. The 3 of us began to discuss new strategies. Most of you would only hold 2 more hours at most. The last possible escape route had been shut off, filling with floodwater just a few hours earlier. All of our communicating with the outside was gone. The situation had become so desperate that I could no longer expect you or Sora to find any escape route.
どうしたら。
You lifted her coffee cup to her lips as you spoke. Her cup contained only black coffee. Idria folded herself. Watching her drink, I went to take a sip from my own cup, but found it empty. To myself more, I walked back to the coffee machine. The machine was an interesting contraption, with a lower chamber containing boiling water heated from an alcohol lamp. The water was siphoned up the central pipe into the upper chamber by the pressure of the stream. Siphon. 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 I've got it. Sora, could you show me that cross-sectional diagram again? What's this perpendicular line coming straight down from the floating island?
非常階段です。
This area wasn't
昨
dry
日排水
earlier.
を行ったので、浸水が始まった時、自動的に非常階段の水密費が閉鎖されました。ですから排水が完了したこの非常階段には水が入り込まなかったのです。倉成さん、松永さん、小町さんの3名が助かったのも水密費が自動閉鎖されたからでしょう。
How far is it from this room to the emergency stairwell?
約80メートルです。
Really? 80 meters. Huh. I just want to confirm this, but if you were to climb those emergency stairs, you could escape to the floating island, right?
はい。
And The safety doors to the emergency stairwell can be opened manually.
可能です。ちょっと待ってよ。一体何考えてんの少年。
What I'm saying is, escape by going through the emergency stairwell, maybe.
またそうやって短絡的な発想をする。ここんとこよく見なさいよ。水色になってるでしょ。
So?
非常階段に繋がった通路は水没してるってこと。
Yeah, I know that.
まさか泳いでいくなんて言い出さないよね。
I think that's the first time I've ever heard you make a mistake. I was going to say that. There's no way I can swim 80 meters
じ
underwater.
ゃあどうやって非常階段までたどり着くつもりなの？
First, let's call the emergency stairwell that connects to the floating island Staircase A. Then let's call the Sector 4 emergency stairwell here Staircase B. The emergency corridor connecting the Staircase A will be Corridor C.
それで
Point is, we need to drain the water out of the corridor, right? Once that's done, we could just skip our way to Staircase A.
簡単に言っちゃってくれるけどさ、無理だと思うよ。
We can do
どう
it.
やって？第一、C 通路に溜まった大量の水を排水する場所がないじゃない。
But there is a place. The dry area in Sector 4.
君って本物のバカ？水は高いところから低いところに向かって流れるの。これで3回目だからね、同じこと言うの。
I know, I
じ
know.
ゃあどうしてそんなバカのこと？それともバケツでも使って水をかき出すつもり？
Not skipping it out. Just the opposite. We're going to release the floodwater from Sector 8.
一つ単純な質問してもいいですか？
Sure.
そんなことしたらこの警備室の周囲は全て海水に飲み込まれることになっちゃうと思うんですけど。
That's right.
ついにそんなところまで行っちゃったか。いいのよ。いいのよ少年。もう何も心配することはないの。大丈夫だから。私が守ってあげるから。よしよし。いい子いい子。
He started petting my head. I snapped with anger. Alright then, I'll prove it to you. I dashed out and ran to the warehouse. Found a bucket and a clear plastic hose. And drilled a hole in the bucket. Taking the hose into the hole, I used the duct tape to wrap and seal it. I ended up 2 more buckets. Goods in hand, I returned to the security office.
何これ？
It's something I threw together to test my idea.
わかんないよ。これとそれがどう関係してくるわけ？
Listen, first, this bucket here, the one with the hose stuck in it, represents Sector 8, where we are, okay? Next, the hose part that's filled with water represents Corridor C leading to Staircase A. Finally, the bucket set in low represents the 4th block on the 4th floor. The empty hose part hanging down to it is Staircase B. Let's let you know, the vent hose part represents the connecting corridor, joining up Sector C with Staircase B, right?
そこまでは分かったけど、それで？
Before I show you, I want to make sure one thing. If we drain the water filling the hose here, we can move safely into the emergency stairs, right?
まあね。
Alright, the draining begins. Remember what I said
確
earlier?
か私たちのいる第8区画の浸水エリアを開放すると。
Let's release it. Just again to pour water into the top bucket from a second bucket, which I had filled with water from the corridor. No time at all, the top bucket was full. Next, the water from the top bucket flowed down the hose, pushing out the air from the hose and flowing into the lower bucket. For long, all the water was drained, except for a negligible amount left in the hose. All the water from the top bucket drained completely to the lower bucket. That's how it works. This is how a siphon works. Okay, let's prove this one more time by looking at the map. Both the staircase A, staircase B, corridor C, the area in Sector 4 are all intact without cracks or damage. So you can assume that all these areas are protected from outside seawater. Isn't that right, Sora?
Hi.
Even if those areas don't have cracks or damage, what will happen if we simultaneously open all of the watertight doors in the surged area of Sector 8 of Zoterstock?
大量の水が C 通路に流れ込む
And then what
C
next?
通路に溜まっていた水が第4区画のドライエリアに流れ込む
Then what will happen?
今の実験を見た感じだと C 通路に溜まってた水も第8区画に溢れ出した水も全部第4区画に移動するみたいなことになるのかな
Yep, that's the
で
plan.
もそんなにうまくいくと思う
It's a hell of a lot better than nothing. I'm pretty sure it'll work. And then... Are you ready to go? Reading the color-coded map on the monitor, Salterstock's Sector 8 in Corridor C had changed to green. The color green meant it was a dry area, meaning the drainage had worked perfectly.
圧壊推定時刻まであとわずかです急いでください
Yeah, we
で
know.
はどうかご無事で
Huh? What about you, Sora? You're not coming?
少年空はねレミューから離れることができないの
Huh?
お忘れになりましたか私は RSD ホログラムなのですよ私は皆さんと一緒には行けませんですから私はここでお見送りしようと思います
Sora,
出会いがあれば別れがあるものです仮に私が浮島までついていったとしてもやっぱりそこで少年さんとはお別れしなければなりません私の場合他の皆さんとは違ってそのタイミングが少しだけ早く訪れただけなのです
but
少年さんが誰かお友達の家に遊びに行った場合を考えてみてください帰る時になってそのお友達は見送りこそするでしょうが一緒に少年さんの家までついてくるようなことはしませんよねここはレミューは私の家なのです
yep. We'll meet again, won't we?
ええ
Way. I don't know what that means.
私はここにいると同時にあそこにもいるここにいる私が消えたとしてもあそこにいる私は存在し続けるのです
Don't talk about disappearing.
これはただの例え話です私は必ず少年さんや田中さんと再会することになるでしょうそれも近いうちに
Do you promise? It's a promise then.
約束です
Looking over Sora's shoulder at the monitor, I could see the number of life readings displayed there. You and I opened the security office doors and exited into the corridor. Giving a wave to the smiling Sora as she saw us off, we climbed the stairs to the emergency corridor. Then we walked to Corridor C, which is no longer flooded. Hey, I was just thinking, but
何のこと
surely Sora isn't planning to take responsibility for the accident by dying here.
バカね空は死んだりなんてしないの空は私たちとは違うんだよ
No way, Sora's not...
そうじゃなくってまあとにかく君が心配するようなことにはならないと思う
How can you be so sure? Maybe that's the way the Black programmed her.
やれやれこれはねマヨから聞いたんだけどこの間のクラッキングの時 マヨはもう一箇所だけプログラムを書き換えたんだって。ソラが最も優先しなければならない項目としてマヨはあるものを書き加えたの。
What was
他
that?
の何よりも自分自身を、ソラ自身を大切にすること。
Last, you're at the door leading to the emergency stairs.
じゃあ開けるよ。
Okay. You put your hand on the door's handle.
ほら回すの手伝ってよ。
Oh, right. Together we gripped the handle. It was then that it happened. Suddenly, a low metallic sound resounded behind us. I turned around quickly. Ah. At the end of the corridor stood the girl. Her eyes met mine. My name flashed in my mind as clear as a bell. Coco!
ここって誰なの？
During our heroes, Coco ran off in the other direction. I turned to chase after her. You grabbed my arm, holding me back. Come on, let go. There's still someone here. I can't just leave her here.
客を見てるだけなのよ。しっかりして。
Clothes began to creak and groan. Here and there, water began to leak in. Coco!
少年！
Tearing myself away from Yu's grasp, I ran after the girl. Yu came dashing after me. Through the voice alternator came Sora's
核
warning.
壁強度がすでに限界を超えています。早く戻ってください。
No way.
どれくらい持つの？10分から15分ですが、今すぐに悪化してもおかしくない状況です。
One instance, I saw the back of the girl. She needed to run down the corridor. With all my strength, I burst after her. Main building lights flickered and went out, and were replaced by dim emergency lights. Up with the pale lights, I kept up the chase. I bounded down the emergency staircase and burst out into a normal corridor. I ran with all my power. I ran into the narrow corridor in front of a small door. It was there that I caught up to her. She stood with her back to the door. I'd caught her. Come on, we're going together. Hiro shook her head. Creeping forward, I pressed close to her. To my surprise... Huh? After a moment, it's being absorbed into the door, the girl disappeared. Out of breath, you closed in on me.
やっと追いついた。で、その少女とやらは？
I stood there as if in a trance. And back to myself, I tried to open the door to Himmel, but the door wouldn't budge. Sora, open this door!
その扉は私の管轄外なのです。
I pounded on the door. Coco! The surface of the walls water began to
あと
gush
5
in.
分です。それ以上はもう持ちません。緊急警報が発令されました。ご来場のお客様および館内の職員は速やかに退去してください。悪界まであと5分です。
This repeated itself in German and English. Damn it! Open up! Open this door! Struck it with my fists. Open up!
お願いだからしっかりしてよ。しっかりして少年。
Pounded fiercely against the door again with my clenched fists. No matter how hard I tried, it was in vain. She just my imagination. If I keep this up, what's going to happen to you? You would die if I didn't do something.
少年。
I'm so sorry, you. I strained to speak, squeezing at my words. Okay, let's go. I reached out my hand to you.
よかった。
You gave my hand a squeeze back. One last time, I looked back at the door, then turned and ran with all my might. We sprinted as hard as our legs could carry us. Dashing through the water as it gushed like a waterfall, I ran with everything I had, Yu's hand gripped tightly in mine.
悪界まであと3分。
Running up the emergency stairs, we reached Welterstock. We ran hard down the emergency corridor.
8階まであと2分です。
We plied our strength together and pushed open the emergency stairwell door. Closing the door tightly, we then headed up the long set of
8
stairs.
階まであと1分です。
In the distance, the sign read Esterboden on the first floor. Just 17 meters left.
30秒20秒10 9 8 7
We ran towards the final door. The door wouldn't open.
5 4 2 1
The darkness was pierced by a ferocious sound, like the roar of a dragon, or possibly the last agonizing cry before death. On the floating island, the morning sun stained the sky, land, and ocean. It was the first time we had laid eyes on the blue sky in bright sunlight in 7 days. In the distance, Sora and Takashi played together. It appears as if they were pretending to sword fight with a couple of sticks. Apparently, Takashi had been routed by Sora's sword. I gazed dreamily at the two as they played. Tsugumi was nowhere to be seen. To escape, she had disappeared. As for you, sat beside me, gazing at the morning sun. Her eyes misted with tears. It was her first time to see the sun in 7 days. Long shadows from her figure and mine cast light behind us. Yes, we had successfully escaped from that abysmal labyrinth. I kept my promise, don't you think? I turned and asked you.
1つ目はね
You kept her gaze on the rising sun as she answered. The first one, Protector. And the
コーヒー
second,
に入れる砂糖に似てるもの
that.
生きるために必要なものに似てるって
Uh-huh.
約束通り教えてよ
Okay, let me ask you in that case. What are some things in which life
水
depends?
空気食料家に洋服にお金
Okay, what
知
else?
識
Well, I guess there's that too. Humans can't live forever in innocence, though. To live comfortably, humans also need certain impurities, things that are granted by knowledge. I guess you can compare those things with the milk you put in the coffee. But there's one more thing. Like the sugar in coffee, we need one more thing.
それは何
How does sugar taste?
甘い
A wonderful taste, right? So humans can never live entirely alone.
ん
You still don't get it? You can only know sweetness when they join together. Love. You then squeezed my right hand, and I pulled her close to me. You buried her face in my chest. From Mia's long hair, I could smell her fragrance. Fragments of
とっ
sunlight.
ても甘いね
The sun. My sun, which was clear and fresh, flowing with brilliance. Tinged with sweetness, the smell of spring enveloped us completely. Life reading 1. It says Aki there still. Well, yes, you wouldn't believe it necessarily, but that's the first time we've gotten a proper epilogue. The other two we've seen were just the good ends, which we still died. This one we made it. We made it out. We lived. We escaped. We did not learn anything about Yu's mom, though. We didn't learn anything about that, but oh well. Maybe later, another day. But yeah, there you go. That's the first epilogue we've seen. So, I mean, that's good. There's no deadly virus this time, which is great. There was the kid being crazy. But that's fine. We didn't die. Everything's okay. We made it out. Every other time, we were this close to getting out, but hasn't gone well completely. Because Tsugumi, the submarine, that didn't work. At least it didn't work for Takashi. And Sora, you know, Takashi got himself into that. Oh, don't fucking remind me of this pin nonsense. Get out of here. But yeah, that's the first time we were actually able to get out. Even though it said the door wasn't open, but we still escaped somehow. I don't want to remember the time with the pen. I don't. It was nonsense. And served no point other than to be cheeky. I don't want to remember it. Two years later. You and I were riding on a boat. Infinitely deep blue ocean spread far as we could see. A clear blue sky unfolded above us. There's a pair of seagulls flying overhead. The sea breeze whipped at us like a little strongly, and you used her hand to hold her hair in check. It recently started to grow her hair out. It seemed that she was starting to look more like her. That, and she seemed to have become a bit more easygoing and ladylike. It's alright, I guess. Yes, I had somehow gotten into college and was in my first year. Of course, I was going to a different school than you, so we never had a chance to meet on campus. You really want to know? You know, might be better if you didn't ask. You still sure you want to know? Alright, I won't tell. But you said you weren't going to ask. This is too confusing. Yes, she went changing her mind again. You can really be twisted sometimes. What are you talking about? If you were pure, then I'd be...
かな、新生純情少年くん。
Hey, stop it. I've changed since then. After that, I was reluctant to speak. I wonder if I really was different from the person I was at that time. I probably was. Since then, no unexpected, mysterious things had happened to me. I couldn't predict things anymore. I got my memory back. Or maybe I was the same. Maybe it was the same as ever. Many people learned, got hurt, and lost things. And that they changed as they lived life. But my basic nature hadn't changed. Some things changed. Some things never did. I was still me, but myself from the past was different. If I had to explain it, I might say that it was like me in another world. Maybe that was it.
そうだね。もうあの時の君じゃないかもね。だってこんなに背も伸びたしね。
Kid got the growth spurt. She stood on her tippy toes and raised her hand over my head. I'd grown a head taller over the previous 2 years.
さてと、それじゃあ聞かせてもらいましょうか。
What?
考古学を専攻した理由。
Alright, it's because I want to know myself better.
自分を知る？
Yes. I know more about myself at that time. At that time, I thought it would be best to major in archaeology, the same as you, to better understand the weird stuff that was happening to me.
まさか君、第三視点を研究するつもり？
I sure am. Told you. It's probably better that you don't ask.
ここは相変わらずというかなんというか、やっぱり何も変わってないよ。
Either of you. Reminds me, your clothes are the same ones you wore then, right?
まあね。
There's a thin black stain on the hem of her jacket that had remained. It was a memorable stain. My memory... I started to think about it as I gazed at the ocean. I thought about the time when I'd met you. About those unforgettable 7 days. Let's just talk about the things that happened after that. After that... Some time we just stood there enjoying the sunshine on the floating island. The sun looked extremely bright after a week without it. Its rays were warm. That moment, someone patted me on the shoulder. I turned back and there was...
おはようございます。
Oh, hi, Sora! Sora!
近いうちに必ず会えるって約束しましたよね。
But, why are you
ご
here?
迷惑でした？そんなことないよ。また会えて嬉しい。
Hearing that, Sora smiled gently. I exchanged a handshake with Sora when I met her again. Wait. Oh, like an actual handshake? Well, hold on, what? Oh, what? Hold the fuck on, what? Like this is the real person, Sora? What? Excuse me? What? What the fuck? Like, the real Sora? What? A handshake? Like a real handshake? What the fuck? I don't understand any of this. I looked up at the sky above. The clear blue sky seemed to spread on
田中
forever.
先生がお待ちになってます。どうぞこちらへ。
Oh, the person called Dr. Tanaka who appeared in front of us was the woman I'd seen on the monitor. It was a woman who was the person who claimed to be his mother.
お母さん、ゆう、よく無事で。どうして？約束したでしょ。浮島に上がってきたら、すべて教えるって。
It's very weird that... It's very weird they sound exactly the same. I mean, I know, like, they probably didn't want to hire a new VA, but, like, it's a little weird.
久しぶりね。
What? I wonder if she was talking to me. It seemed like it was the first time that I'd met her. Or had I met her in the
どうし
past?
たの？聞きたいことあるんじゃないの？
Yes, I have tons of things I want to ask.
一つ残らず全部話すつもりですから、ご心配なく。
Alright then, first I
ちょ
want
っと
to...
待って、ちょっと待ってよ。
You.
まず何よりも先に確かめたいことがあるの。いいかしら。どうぞ。あなたは私の本当のお母さんじゃないと言った。それでも私はあなたの子供なのだとも言った。私が聞きたいのはただ一つ。あなたは私のお母さんなの？
Dr. Tanaka looked down. She twisted her lips sadly.
どうなの？
I wonder why you would ask such a thing. Should have already known the answer.
I am you. え？今なら間違いなく言えるわ。私はあなたの母親よ。You.
Well, she stared you in the eye as you said that.
母さん。
After a while, we asked Dr. Tanaka question after question. How did we get trapped? Was it an accident or not? Why could I predict things? Why did I lose my memory? What happened in my past? Did the girl I'd seen really exist? Who was she? What happened in Yu's past? Did Yu's father and mother really die? If so, who was she, Dr. Tanaka? What was the meaning of the haiku password? What was Winkle? What was the connection between the TB virus and the accident? And what was the third eye? It's a long, long story.
またあの時のこと考え
If
て
you
るん
don't
でしょ。
fucking tell me, you know, I wanna know. Don't do this. Quiet. I need to know. Don't interrupt the kid's thinking. Huh? Yeah. Hey, you. Do you know the proverb, water flows and people live? Water flows from high to lower places. But the flow, its path has an infinite number of possibilities. People live just like water. There are infinite ways for life to flow. That's what it means. If life has infinite possibilities, there might be another me somewhere who has a different history than me in the present.
どこか？
Yeah, say, beyond this broad sky. Beyond this limitless universe. There should be another universe. Another me in another universe. I was thinking about that other me.
別の宇宙か。ねえ、もしもそんな別の宇宙があるとして、その世界に住んでる私たちもこうして今みたいに付き合ってるのかな。
There sure
どう
is.
してわかるの？
I can tell because I can. You see, if I do this, drew you close and kissed her. We're surrounded by the spring sun, clouds floating in the sky, the rippling ocean, and the song of seagulls. Felt everything about you through her skin. Her warmth, her scent, her touch, her heartbeat, and even the color of her heart. I could see through you completely then. It was exactly the third eye. Ultimate wisdom. Yes, if I did that, then we could transcend time. Story is not over yet, because only you are in the infinity loop. What the fuck? How dare? How dare you bring up all of these fucking questions? and also give me a theory at the same time, and then not answer any of it. What the fuck? I don't exactly, Maji. I feel the same way. I don't need this fucking sappy nonsense. I need answers. Give me the answers, you fuck. Okay. Fuck, I want the answers, man. I was so close. They're staring me in the face, and I wanted them. Give them to me. But we can't have them, because we're stuck in the infinity loop, or whatever the fuck. Okay. I'll quick say my theory, because this is you focused. So, right when, Dr. Tanaka said, I am you, the thing I just said about, like, the fact that they have the same VA is kind of weird, and they sound exactly the same. My mind popped in this idea that, like, is this, yeah, you know, both of you's parents died, but, like, they cloned you, and you's mother is actually herself, but also is separate from the you that we know. Like, because why the fuck else would she say, I am you, like she said to the kid? I don't know. I mean, that makes sense to me. I mean, does it make sense, honestly? Like, I don't even know what the fuck was going on with Sora. Was Sora real? We shook Sora's hand, but, like, did we just, like, make the motion and is Sarah still a hologram? I need answers, damn it. I don't know any of this. Okay. We will have our answers someday, I hope. Anyway. Oh shit, you're right. She did tap us on the shoulder. I guess that was real Sora. But if that's real Sora, how the fuck did she... How did she know us, though? What? What? I don't understand any of this. I hope to learn this bullshit, though. I hope we learn this bullshit. Like... Okay. Alright. Yeah, so that's the end of Yu's route. For good. Because that was... You know, we got the epilogue. Kid... I guess... We didn't know Kid's age, exactly. So I'm guessing he was 16 before growth spurt. And he grew up, and now they're... You and the kid... Which, he never told us his name, by the way. Like, are we gonna... Is he just gonna be the kid forever, or... Did he take that name after this shit happened, so he's still the kid? Or, like... I don't know. Okay, the more I talk about this shit, the more questions pop up, and the more, like, I'm fucking... Blah. But, I'll stop now. Anyway. Yeah, so we're done with you now. Next, next is the newest member of our little, of our cast of characters, Sarah. We're gonna go after Sarah next. Honestly, there's some stuff with Sarah, but nothing, like, outstanding of, like, weird with her that I can remember plainly, but, there's probably something there. Honestly, the most interesting person and the kid's route was Tsugumi, to be honest. Yu was interesting too, but, like, other than Yu, Tsugumi, though, like, Tsugumi gave us the big revelation, like, she also knows what the fuck is happening. And I think she does. Because when they fought again about her idea about the Dremel, she knew all that shit. Like, she knew about it, so that's confirmed. She doesn't have any inside information, she just knows it. And she said again Or now. She said now. Hope you'll help me now. I mean, Coco kinda has a route, right? I mean, she's popping up in the kids' route all the damn time, even if she's not real. I don't know. Something like that. Anyway. Yes, Sarah next. We will figure out what's going on with Sarah next. And then... I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens from there, honestly. Anyway. Next time, we go after Sarah, so we will do that then. Real quick though, before I was gonna end because I was just not thinking. We'll raid somebody if there's somebody I know that's around. It is a wild ride, and I'm very happy to be doing it, even if it does make me infuriated at all of this. Sophia's streaming Minecraft. Pixelmon. That sounds great. Let's go raid. We'll go raid Sophia. Because I'm probably gonna go watch that myself anyway. Yes, we'll go raid Sophia. Storm raid as usual. Because I don't know what else would be good. That'll do. Yeah. So next time, more Ever17, Zara's route. Till that, thank you everybody for watching and popping in and whatever. Let's go raid.